We often attribute climate change to industrial smokestacks or transportation, but a massive portion of the problem is actually the built environment around us. The real estate sector accounts for roughly 40% of global carbon emissions. This video explores research by Voriprabha Nakavachara and Yishuang Xu into the governance of this sector. For the full dataset, visit sherryshu.com, linked below. Buildings are more than just targets for extreme weather. Their energy consumption makes them primary drivers of emissions. This makes their path to decarbonization a central focus for climate policy. Our physical world is largely owned by real estate investment trusts, or REITs. These corporate landlords manage massive property portfolios, defining our urban centers. This industry has traditionally been heavily male-dominated, and it is now facing significant financial risks as the market pivots toward decarbonization. A study of 375 global REITs looked at whether changing the gender makeup of a board influences the actual carbon output of its buildings. If the physical environment is dictated by corporate strategy, the demographics of leadership may be an overlooked factor in environmental outcomes. Researchers tracked these firms across 21 global markets over a 7-year period, from 2017 to 2023. They tracked diversity through 3 lenses: percentage of women, Blau index, and a threshold called critical mass, having 3 or more women. This marks the shift from tokenism to a group dynamic where female directors exert meaningful influence on strategy. This is explained by upper echelons theory. It suggests that diverse perspectives in leadership tend to prioritize long-term, broader stakeholder interests, like environmental sustainability, over immediate, short-term returns. Board diversity introduces different cognitive frames to a company's leadership. The data shows a clear correlation. As boards become more gender diverse, the adoption of official environmental policies increases. This data shows the rising proportion of REITs adopting protocols for emissions reduction, renewable energy, and waste management. Panel D specifically shows the sharpest increase, where executive compensation is tied directly to sustainability targets. Adjusting the leadership makeup appears to be an effective way to fundamentally change a firm's internal environmental standards from the top down. With green policies rising so quickly, we might expect to see a matching drop in actual carbon emissions. These charts show that while total emissions decrease, there is limited evidence of an immediate link between board diversity and emission intensity. This reveals an execution gap. Policies are signed quickly, but retrofitting global real estate portfolios to reduce emissions takes years of physical work. Boardroom mandates provide the starting point, but translating those rules into physical decarbonization requires time and significant operational effort. Governance changes serve a long-term function. They create the institutional mandates required for physical retrofits to eventually move forward. In this sense, a diverse board acts as the catalyst, the initial shift that triggers the policy changes that eventually force operational results. You can find the full paper, the charts, and the specific methodologies used at sherryshu.com. The path to a different physical environment begins by changing the priorities of the rooms where its future is decided.